Hey everybody, Jim here, and today I'm in the city of Odawara, where as you can plainly see, it's festival time, so people are filling up the sidewalks, and they're parading up and down the streets in traditional clothing, carrying around shrines, lanterns, and flags. It's a very fun and festive atmosphere, and today we're here to take a look at the local game center. It's just one of many Taito game stations dotted around Japan. And as this series goes on, we're going to take a look at a lot more of them, but we might as well get started with this one. One of the cornerstones to any successful game center is the UFO catchers, or claw machines if you prefer, and the first floor of this one is loaded with them. There are a ton of prizes to win, everything from figures and plushies to small electronics and even some snack foods and candy. They can be a lot of fun, but they also still feel pretty much damn near impossible to win at. You can sink quite a lot of yen into these if you're not careful. On the second floor of this game center is where you'll find all of the racing games, including this one, Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune 5DX, which is a mouthful, but it's also a really fun drift racing game. All of the racing games on this floor can be used with player cards that store all of your playing data, like this Bandai Namco card, which can be used with both Midnight Tune and this Mario Kart Arcade. Which, by the way, if you've never played a Mario Kart Arcade, you are missing out big time. They're a lot of fun. There are also a handful of Initial D cabinets, which accept their own unique Initial D player cards that store all of the upgrade data for your cars. And a very cool feature about all of the racing games in this game center is that they're all network connected, so you can get online and play against other racers all over Japan. That's very cool. Another really cool game on this floor is Dragon Ball Z Zenkai Battle. It's a 2-on-2 fighting game that plays a lot like the more modern Dragon Ball Z console fighting games. And just like the racers on this floor, it's network connected, so you can battle against other players all over the country. If you're more of the gambling type, then this floor has got you covered. There's plenty of pachinko and slot machines to choose from. Many of them have the motif of popular anime series, and if these things are a little too flashy for your sensibilities, there's always virtual horse race betting. Also, you can't forget about Final Fantasy Dissidia, which can still be found in most game centers, and it's a whole lot of fun. It's especially nice if you're a longtime Final Fantasy fan like I am. But for me, the most interesting game on this floor is definitely this AKB48 game. It's a rail shooter based on the very popular J-pop group. All of the girls and their fans have been turned into zombies. And since you can't just go blowing the heads off of popular recording artists, you just shoot them with blue stuff that temporarily turns them back into human beings. And in between shooting stages are rhythm segments where the zombified girls do a little dance number while you hit the trigger buttons in time with the music. It's wacky but very fun. On the third floor, for starters, is where you'll find all of the standalone rhythm games, and not just the ones you'd expect to find, like Guitar Freaks or Taiko drums, but all kinds that I can't even name that have the most perplexing controls to me, but that doesn't keep some of these players from being absolute masters at them. It's really something to watch. The third floor is where you'll also find a lot of the oddball games that don't use traditional controls, but instead have things like maybe a mouse, stylus pin, or you use cards that are placed on a number of different sensors. They're definitely not your standard arcade games, and it's pretty safe to say that if you really want to get some enjoyment out of these, you're probably going to need to sink a lot of time into them, which these players seem like they definitely do. They do look pretty fun though. For example, this game called Gunslinger Stratus is a versus action game where the controllers are a couple of pistols. You can use them to move around obviously, but when your opponents are in range, you point them at the screen kind of like a light gun, and that's how you perform your attacks. It's pretty cool and pretty unusual as well. A lot of fun though. Finally, to wrap up this first episode, we're going to have a seat in the cockpit of a Gundam, which, if you've never tried it before, I'd highly recommend that you do. It's a lot of fun, kind of like playing a much more intricate version of Afterburner. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first edition of Game Center KS. Take care, I shall see you next time.